Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and today I'm going to take a look at the Legends Hulk Hogan, Captain Lou Albano, and the Sultan. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I'm going to take a look at the latest Legends line with Hulk Hogan, the Sultan, and Captain Lou Albano. And I did go ahead and switch around the Sultan and Captain Lou boxes. I didn't plan on placing them in the right order, and then I just realized that they were off, so I figured, what the heck. So I moved that around a little bit, but I figured I'd start out here taking a look at the Sultan. We've got him on the stand. I think he's the most elaborate of the set. And I did not pick up the Muhammad Ali figure. I have his Ultimate Edition, and I think that's a very, very nice figure. I like the Ultimate Edition torso on him more than I like the torso on his Elite. And the only real big difference besides the Ultimate to Elite conversion is that he has the black boxing gloves, I believe. So I will probably pick him up once he goes on clearance. A lot of fodder pieces that I would like to add to the collection there. So come clearance time, I will be picking up every Muhammad Ali I can. But until then, this is the three I'm going to go with. So the Sultan figure here, all his accessories are on. He's got this huge cloth goods cape. He's got his hat. I guess I don't know exactly. We'll just say his hat. I think it's a little more than that. But this is a character that I had on my list to make. I was going to do a Sultan figure, and I had bought the old, I think it's Jack's Toy Biz, or Jack's Bone Cruncher, and the head sculpt, I thought it was just fine. It didn't need a lot of detail since it had the mask, and then this got announced, and I was shocked. I did not think we were going to get it. Just a weird side character. If you're unaware, it was Rikishi. Rikishi, I believe this was after he was a head shrinker. I can't remember if he was trying to save the kids in the streets before or after he was the Sultan. So this is the Sultan, and it's awesome. It is definitely better than anything I'd come up with as far as making a custom, but I do want to get the accessories off and take a closer look at him. So up close here is the Sultan, and the sculpting, everything they did for him, I think is fantastic. Besides the cloth goods rope here, or robe, cape, so you can see is red on the inside. The design is really nice. And then his hat, whatever we want to call it, looks fantastic. There's even a cutout for his ponytail so that it sits on there well. But the head sculpt, I think, is very, very nice. And then all of the detail in the attire is so cool. They got the stripes molded in there, tooled in there instead of just painted. He's got this separate rib cover. This is movable. I think it's supposed to be able to move. It's not just like busted in there and I'm messing it up. They gave him, I don't know if these are the Xavier Woods mold, because they do have the like strap on the side here. But I know they did have this boot mold for an Xavier, a few, maybe definitely a couple Xavier Woods New Day Elites. And then all this sculpting in the torso too is really nice. They just went all out for this Sultan figure, and I think it's so cool. He does come with some extra hands here. He's got some open hands, which I feel are just, I guess those come with like Cody Rhodes, but we get those with all the Samoan figures, I feel like. And like I said, this is Rikishi, so technically, I don't remember how they build him. I think they build him as some character from the Middle East. But the Sultan is Rikishi. So, I don't know. I don't think he has the same skin tone as his Rikishi figures. And the one issue I have is not necessarily with the figure itself, but it's not the size. The size of the bodies if you look at all the different Samoan characters, so like Umaga, his figures are humongous. They made the wild Samoans with that same body mold. Those are really, really big. You've got Solo Sikoa, who they made super skinny at first before they fixed him. I think more of them should be built, like with the second version of Solo we got. I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of all over the place. And Rikishi himself. So this one kind of fits in line with his Rikishi elites. You look at the head shrinker, Fatu of him, and it's just real, like legs real skinny. Torso is kind of like the same size as Solo. So I don't know. I don't really like that difference. And this skin tone is the same skin tone as The Rock, whereas his other ones are the same skin tone as the Usos. So a little inconsistency there, but overall, just the figure I'm really, really happy with. So this was one I wasn't gonna wait to pick this up. I wanted to grab it the moment I saw it. So another weird character from the new generation, and I don't know if he did anything besides feud with Rocky Maivia. So it was fun for me to pick this up. But let's take a look at the others. Next up, everybody's favorite, we've got another Hulk Hogan. So if you are one of those with Hulk Hogan fatigue, I do apologize. I wasn't necessarily asking or begging for this one, but again, I like having, I grew up with Hogan. I always knew Hulk Hogan, and really, when I was becoming a fan, I was watching all the old stuff with Hulk Hogan, and then he was kind of already getting into the NWO stuff. So for me, there wasn't this like time where I got sick of Hogan and didn't want to see him. I just went straight from Golden Era Hulk to NWO Hulk, and it was a great time. So getting New Japan Hulk now, I think is pretty cool. It's a cool cut. A lot of people talk about New Japan Hulk Hogan and how he could go. He could. I think one of his signature moves when he was wrestling in New Japan was the Enziguri, which I think is wild. Like, seeing him do anything other than the big boot and the leg drop is pretty crazy. So this is dubbed Ichiban Hulk Hogan, and I think it looks really good. I know one of the things when I was looking up like some different attires to make for Hulk Hogan a while back, you could get like the Create a Wrestler. Like I like to look up like Create a Wrestler blah blah blah, like Hulk Hogan. So try and find the images I can and find some attires to make, and this was one that always popped up with the black tights, red boots, and then of course this is the chase version, so he's got the like light blue boots instead of the normal silver, and I like this more just because I think it pops a little better, and I really like what they did with the head sculpt. I like the likeness is good. Of course, they do a good job. I think these sunglasses look really nice on him, and then he's got a little bit of black in the beard, so it's different than what we've gotten, but at the same time, still just your like kind of classic early Hulk Hogan look. He is not balding on top. The shirt, I honestly, I don't know what the shirt says. Maybe it says Hulk Hogan Ichiban. I don't know. But this one is lighter on the accessories, so probably to make up for all the cool stuff we got with the Sultan. But you can see that same logo there is on his tights. And just, it's your typical Hulk Hogan. Articulation's about the same. He comes with a one pointing hand, or wait a minute, one pointing hand. Did I mess something up? I did mess something up. Don't worry about those hands. I was confused for a second. Here are his correct hands. So he comes with two fisted hands, two pointing hands, and then the open hands. So nothing crazy as far as accessories and everything. It's just another deep cut Hulk Hogan, and we're about to get Real American music video Hulk Hogan. That one is really cool. I'm excited for that one. This one, I think I'm going to start a pick fed, and then the first thing I'm going to do is have New Japan Hulk Hogan against New Japan Kenny Omega. That'll be one of the first feuds I do when I get around to a pick fed, but I'm not going to go into any more detail really here. There's Hulk Hogan. And before finishing things with Captain Lou Albano, I did forget, I want to show you guys this Sultan figure articulates fantastic. It does so well. This is one there where like they did a good job with the legs, And I wish they would just do this instead of giving us drop down hips on the Ultimates. Like, he moves well, arms move well. Like, there's not really a need for butterfly joints back and forth. Just a great figure. Moving on to Captain Lou. Okay, so I got a little bit ahead of myself. I was looking at these hands. So Captain Lou comes with 2 pointing hands and then the open hands, and he comes with his record as well, and it is busted from an angle that he shot. So he was one of the, if not the pioneer of the rock and wrestling period in the WWF at the time. He had a personal friendship with Cyndi Lauper that they brought to WWF and did an entire angle. And that is really like how I knew him. He managed a lot of people. He was one of the like classic managers. We've gotten Freddie Blassie, and then the Grand Wizard was another one. Like, those 3 were big time heel managers, and I would love a Grand Wizard. I think that'd be even a deeper cut for the Mattel line. I don't know how if that would necessarily work, but we're 2/3 of the way there getting those 3. So Captain Lou, as soon as I saw his Superstars figure, I was like, oh my god, I cannot wait to get an Elite of him, and they did such a great job. As far as parts go, I think this is a lot of the Paul Bearer figure. I'm like 90% sure these are the Paul Bearer legs, and then as far as the torso, he's got the rotating torso, the way they do the Kevin Owens figures, and I think that is how, maybe it's an Otis torso, but I'm almost positive that this is just Paul Bearer, and then instead of the suited arms, he's got normal arms. And they gave him like his Adidas sneakers. Obviously they can't give him the 3 stripes, they gave him 2 here, and he's got an awesome cloth goods shirt with the coat over it. And I do think of the like kind of yellow goldish like Hawaiian shirt that we saw, that I think is on the Superstars figure, and I think that is how the Jakks Classic Superstars is, but this is also another look that I think looks really good. The head sculpt on him, I think, looks fantastic. They actually like molded the rubber band on his face. It's not just painted. That he's got that crazy look with his eyes. Just, there's a dry brush on his beard. This is an awesome figure. I'm sure, so I do plan to do my own personal like top 10 at the end of the year, and I'll be surprised if I don't have Captain Lou in there. I know that it's a character not everyone's gonna love. For the Legends line, I think it's a good choice. I was really excited to get this and the Sultan. So I was super pumped to grab both of those. So both were easy pickups for me. Articulation wise for him as well, not as huge of a deal with managers. Side to side, it moves all right. It doesn't do a lot of kicking forward. It's kind of stuck. I'd have to heat it up, but I don't need that much for my Captain Lou figures. I need him to just look crazy and be able to point to people, and mission is accomplished there. So that is going to be it. We've got Captain Lou. We've got Ichiban Hulk Hogan. And then let's get Sultan back here to take a peek. So there you have it. If you are a fan of, any of these generations, I imagine if you are a Golden Era fan, you're going to want to pick up Captain Lou. It's an awesome figure. I don't think there's any reason not to. If you like the new gen, I think that's probably the weirdest one. I don't know if it's going to sell. I think it looks cool. I think there's a lot to it, but I think most people aren't going to know the Sultan. So maybe that one will sit. And if you have a new generation collection like I do, that's really the generation that I was born into as far as watching wrestling. But again, I think that's probably my favorite still from the bunch. And then, of course, Hulk Hogan in New Japan. That is a very niche group of people, I would imagine. But nonetheless, still a nice figure. And there's a lot of them. I've seen at least 4 Hogans at all of the Targets I've gone to, which I was pretty confident I was going to find a chase. I did stumble across one, but I don't think you can go wrong picking up any of these. I'm sure the Muhammad Ali is a nice figure as well, but we'll get that down the road. So if you made it to the end of the review here, I appreciate you hanging in. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate that as well. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude, out.